This is Akash from SVC Bangalore. In this seminar, we will explore how to build a web application using Next.js and serverless architecture. We will be cover the benefits of using these technologies and walk through the step-by-step tutorial on building a serverless web application with Next.js. Whether you are a beginner or experienced developer, in this seminar we provide a valuable insights into building a web application with high performance. The agenda of the seminar, we will walk you through each by step. In today's web development world, creating a high-performance web application is essential. This seminar will focus on leveraging the power of Next.js, a widely used React framework, and serverless architecture to build a web application that are fast, scalable, and cost-effective. By the end of the presentation, you will have a clear understanding of how these technologies can be used together to create a high-performance web application that meets the demand of modern web development world. Next.js is a popular open-source React framework used for building a server-side rendered and static web application, and also a static site generation and so on. Serverless architecture. It is an approach to building and running an application without need of dedicated servers, resulting in faster development and reduced cost and better quality. By using Next.js and serverless architecture, we can build an high-performance web application that can handle the high traffic, offer fast loading time, and scalability. Look at why these technologies can be used. First one, which is scalability. Next.js and serverless architecture are highly scalable, which means that they can handle a large amount of traffic without sacrificing the performance. Cost effective. These technologies can be more cost effective than traditional web application development because they allow you to pay only for what you use and don't require you maintaining infrastructure. Speed. Next.js and serverless architecture can improve the speed of your web application because they can handle the request quickly and efficiently. A study by Forrester Research found that companies that adopt serverless architecture can reduce their application development cost by up to 50%. A survey by Next.js team found that 90% of developers reported an improvement in the website speed after switching to Next.js. For high performance application. Next.js is a JavaScript framework for building a server-side rendered web React application. Next.js is a JavaScript framework that built top of React, a popular front-end library for building an UI. Next.js includes several features it make it ideal for building a high-performance web application, include the automatic cloud splitting, server-side rendering, static site generation, and also includes the TypeScript support. Automatic cloud splitting allows a Next.js to split your code into smaller chunks that are loaded only when they needed, which can help reduce the load time and improve the performance. Server-side rendering, which is allows Next.js to render your page on the server and send them to client as fully formed HTML, which can improve the initial load time and search engine optimization. Static site generation. This allows Next.js to generate a fully static HTML page at build time, which can provide even faster load time and improve the security. Next.js is designed to easy to use and configure with minimum setup requirement to get started. It includes a number of built-in features optimization that can help to improve the performance and scalability of your web application. The serverless architecture for high-performance web application. Serverless architecture is a cloud computing model that enables developer to build and run an application without having to worry about managing the underlying infrastructure. Scalability. Serverless architecture allows web application to scale there automatically in response to changes in the demand. This means that developer can easily handle the spike in traffic without worry about provisioning and managing the additional resources. The cloud provider will automatically scale up or scale down based on the application need. This makes serverless architecture ideal for applications that are experience unpredictable traffic pattern or read that need to handle the large amount of traffic. Cost effectiveness. With serverless architecture, you can pay only for resources what you use. As a result, serverless architecture can be more cost effective than traditional server-based architecture. This makes a serverless architecture ideal for startup and business that want to minimize their infrastructure cost. Reduced maintenance overhead. Serverless architecture can reduce the amount of time effort required to manage the infrastructure. Since the cloud provider manages the underlying resources, developers don't have to worry about the configuring servers, installing the software, managing the security patches, so on. This makes serverless architecture ideal for organizations that want to reduce infrastructure management overhead. How serverless architecture works. Here is an example use case for serverless architecture. Whenever the users click on the link to get a product data, it will request to REST API, which is called to endpoint. For example, endpoint would be slash products. Then it will be go to the function, which is cloud provider executes functions code to retrieve the product data and returns data to users, and it will invoke to the database for with the endpoints of products, and will get the information used by the app. And serverless function is a we initially upload function code to the cloud provider account and define a function triggers such as API calls or in-app click. Then go to the cloud provider, run on your code when triggered. How Next.js works. In static generation, HTML is generated at build time and is reused for each request. Let's look at the diagram. Building an app for production, we do the command next build. Then the HTML is generated and which can be reused for each request. In server-side rendering, the HTML is generated on each request. Like whenever the users request for particular resources, then it will be generate the HTML. Let's look at the pre-rendering using Next.js. Initially, the pre-rendered HTML is displayed, and once the JavaScript load, it will rehydrate, which means React component are initialized and act become interactive. No user can interact with the application. Non-pre-rendering, which is a plain React app. Initial load, app is not rendered. After the JavaScript load only, everything renders. Look at the examples of companies that have successfully used Next.js and serverless architecture to build a high-performance web application. Let's look at the Next.js. One of the great example is e-commerce platform Shopify, which uses the Next.js to power its storefront and improve the page load time for customers. Another example is popular online education platform, which is Coursera. Use Next.js to offer a fast and seamless user experience for students taking an online course. Other companies or websites that use successfully use Next.js to improve their performance, such as Hulu, Twitch, Lyft. Let's look at serverless architecture, which company is using. Netflix. Netflix uses AWS Lambda to power its recommendation engine. By using a serverless architecture, Next.js is able to handle massive amount of traffic, provide a personalized recommendation in real time. And another example is Airbnb. Airbnb, which use AWS Lambda to power its search functionality and able to handle the large volume of search query and provide fast and accurate search result. Another example is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola uses Azure functions to power its vending machines, which can be remotely managed and monitored and able to reduce the maintenance cost and improve the reliability of a vending machine. The examples of how the companies will use both the technologies to increase their performance in web application. First one is Auto Trader UK, which is a leading online marketplace for building and scaling a cars. They use Next.js and serverless architecture to power their web applications, which can handle the millions of users and provide fast and reliable performance. Another example is New York Times, which is a leading news publications that use Next.js and serverless architecture to power their website. By using serverless architecture, the New York Times is able to handle large spike in traffic without any manual intervention. Nike. Nike uses Next.js and serverless architecture to power their e-commerce website, which can handle the large amount of traffic and provide fast and reliable performance. So overall, in summary, Next.js and serverless architecture can be used together to build a web application which is high performance, that are scalable, cost effectiveness, and easy to maintain. These technologies together to build a complex application that can handle the large spike in traffic and provide a fast and reliable performance. Challenges and considerations. While Next.js and serverless architecture offer many benefits for building a high-performance web application, there are also some challenges and potential drawbacks to consider. It's important to acknowledge that these technologies are not a silver bullet. They may have trade-offs to consider. Some of the challenges and consideration includes cold start time. When using a serverless architecture, there may be delay when function is first invoked, known as cold start. This is because cloud providers need to allocate resources and load the necessary dependencies. Cold start time can affect the performance of a web application, especially for applications that require low latency or real time. Another challenge is function size and complexity. Serverless functions have limited on amount of memory and CPU they can use. This means function can be large or complex. Code may not be suitable for serverless architecture. Developer may need to refactor their code and split their function into smaller or more manageable pieces to optimize the performance. Debugging and testing. Debugging and testing serverless function can be challenging. Developers may not have access to the underlying infrastructure. They can make it difficult to diagnose and fix the issues that arise. Developers need to specialized tools and technologies such as logging, tracing to identify the identity and troubleshoot the problem. How to address these challenges? There are some best practices and tips. Use the warm-up technologies. Which technologies to reduce the cold start time? And developer can warm up their technologies such as scheduling periodic requests or using a pre-warming services. This can help ensure the function are loaded in memory and ready to handle the request when they are first invoked. Optimize the function size and complexity. Developer can optimize the function size and complexity by using a technology such as code splitting, lazy loading, and caching. By breaking up the function into smaller pieces and reducing the memory footprint, developer can improve the performance and reduce the risk of functional timeouts. Use the specialized tools and technologies. Developer can use the specialized tools and technologies such as blogging, tracing, automatic testing to diagnose the troubleshoot issues with serverless function. By using these tools, developer can gain great visibility into the behavior of the application and identify the potential issue before they can affect. In overall summary, Next.js and serverless architecture offer many benefits building a high-performance application. There are also some challenges and potential drawbacks to consider. To address these challenges, we can use the best practices and techniques such as warm-up technique, function optimization, specialized tools and technologies like this. Be carefully considered by challenges and consideration. Developer can build web applications that are optimized for performance, scalability, and reliability. One summary which we have discussed in our seminar. Scalability. Scalability can handle the large amount of traffic without sacrificing performance. Cost effectiveness. Cost effectiveness allow you to pay only for what you use and don't require you to maintain the infrastructure. Speed. Speed will improve the performance of your publication because they can handle the request quickly and efficiently. Maintenance overhead. Serverless architecture can reduce the amount of time and effort required to manage the infrastructure. Efficient and effectiveness. Applications that are more efficient and effectiveness. By these key points, we can build an application which is high performance. Conclusion of this seminar. We talked about Next.js serverless architecture, which is used to create a fast and efficient web application. Next.js helps developer to make scalable and fast website with server-side rendering and static-side generation. It also has features that make development easier. With serverless architectures, developer can create an efficient web application that can automatically adjust to challenging demand, which is cheaper and requires less maintenance than traditional method. It is cost effective as you only pay for resources what you use. We suggest that you use Next.js and serverless architecture in your own project because they can help you to create an efficient web application with better development experience, more scalable and less maintenance. They can also help you to save money and moreover improve your web performance and reliability. So thank you for listening our presentation. We hope you found it useful. The references I have used. You can go through the Next.js official documentation if you want to learn more about Next.js, and you can go to the AWS Lambda, which is a serverless architecture function, and also a Google Cloud, which is a cloud function, and you can go through some other blogs to get more about these topics. Thank you for listening seminar. If you have any doubts, you can contact me through these platforms.